Right, stop what you're doing and listen to this. I've spent the last 3 months asking mechanics across Britain, Manchester, Birmingham, Leeds, Glasgow, Cardiff, one simple question. What car do you actually drive yourself? Not what they recommend to customers, not what they work on every day. What do they trust enough to spend their own hard-earned money on? And the answers are going to shock you, because these aren't the cars you see in the adverts. They're not the ones with the flashy badges or the latest technology. These are the motors that professional mechanics, people who see broken cars every single day, choose to park on their own driveways. See, mechanics know something the rest of us don't. They know which cars actually last, which ones you can fix yourself for pennies, which models will still be running when everything else has been scrapped. And more importantly, they know which expensive repairs never happen on certain cars. So smash that subscribe button right now, hit the like button, because what I'm about to reveal will completely change how you think about buying a used car. And wait until you hear number 3. Even I was shocked. Let's crack on. Honda Civic. Right then, let's start with a car that mechanics genuinely love. The Honda Civic from this generation. The one with the spaceship interior, the futuristic dashboard, and the styling that splits opinions straight down the middle. Some people think it looks strange. Mechanics think it looks sensible. I spoke to a mechanic in Manchester who's been in the trade for 25 years. Proper independent garage owner, not a dealership tech tied to one brand. He works on everything, from Ferraris and Porsches to Fiestas and Corsas. He sees what really fails once the warranty is gone and the marketing promises disappear. So I asked him a simple question. What car do you actually drive yourself? His answer didn't surprise anyone who understands cars properly. A Honda Civic, nearly 180,000 miles on the clock. Why? I asked him. Because in all my years, he said, I've never, and I mean never, had to do a major repair on one of these. Oil changes, brake pads, tyres, that's it. That sentence alone explains why mechanics trust this car. They don't care what sells well, they care what doesn't come back broken. The heart of it all is the 1.8 iVTEC engine. In the trade, this engine has a reputation that borders on legendary. Timing chain instead of a belt, so no expensive replacement every few years. No turbocharger waiting to fail. No high-pressure direct injection system clogging up with carbon deposits. Just a naturally aspirated engine that's simple, mechanical, and built to last. It revs cleanly, doesn't overstress internal components, and tolerates real-world driving far better than modern downsized engines. Mechanics love engines like this because there's nothing hiding inside them waiting to explode your bank account. One technician put it bluntly, I'd take this engine over most modern ones any day. There's nothing to go wrong. And he's right. When a Civic like this comes into a workshop, it's almost always there for routine maintenance. Servicing, wear items, boring jobs. It's not arriving on the back of a recovery truck with warning lights flashing and an owner demanding answers. The manual gearbox is another huge reason mechanics trust these cars. Honda manuals are famous for a reason: precise, tough, and long-lasting. Clutches regularly go well past 100,000 miles, often far more. No dual clutch failures, no software glitches, no 4-figure rebuilds. The suspension doesn't collapse with age. The electrics keep working year after year. The air conditioning doesn't suddenly give up at high mileage. One mechanic told me, I've got customers with 250,000 miles on these Civics. Original engine, original gearbox, they just keep coming back for oil changes. Now here's something mechanics understand that most buyers completely miss: depreciation. These Civics have already taken their biggest hit. The badge chasers moved on long ago. That means you can buy a tidy example for a few grand, drive it daily for years, and still sell it for nearly what you paid. At the bottom end of the market, reliability is value. But the real win isn't resale, it's ownership. No DPF to replace, no turbocharger to fail, no complex gearbox to rebuild, just predictable, boring, cheap running costs. A garage owner summed it up perfectly. If someone asks me what to buy with 5 grand, I tell them to get a Civic. Not because I'll make money fixing it, I won't, but because they'll thank me in 5 years when it's still running perfectly. Yes, some people ignore this Civic because it looks odd. Too futuristic. Not premium enough. But mechanics don't buy cars to impress strangers. They buy cars that start every morning. They don't care how a car looks on Instagram. They care how it behaves at 200,000 miles. And that's why so many mechanics quietly drive Honda Civics while fixing everyone else's better cars. Toyota Avensis. Now here's one that genuinely surprised even me. The Toyota Avensis. The most boring car in Britain. The kind of car you walk past in a car park and immediately forget you've seen. No sharp lines, no aggressive badge, no look at me design at all. And that's exactly why mechanics love it. I spoke to a garage owner in Leeds who runs a fleet maintenance business. Not a small setup either. He looks after vans, delivery vehicles, company cars, executive saloons, the lot. He sees what happens to cars when they're driven hard, driven daily, and expected to earn money. So I asked him what he drives. A Toyota Avensis diesel estate, over 200,000 miles. I see cars all day long that are falling apart, he told me. German cars with failed turbos, French cars with seized gearboxes, British cars that rust to pieces. The Avensis just doesn't break. Ever. That's not brand loyalty. That's experience talking. He showed me the service history, 6 years of ownership, over 200,000 miles. And the list of work done was almost laughable. Oil changes every year, brake pads once, tires twice. That was it. No breakdowns, no warning lights, no surprise bills. Mechanics understand something most buyers don't. The less time your car spends broken, the more time you have to earn money. When you're self-employed and your car is part of your livelihood, reliability isn't a nice bonus, it's everything. The Avensis delivers that through sheer over-engineering. The 2.0 D4D diesel engine is a known quantity in the trade. It's been used in taxis and fleet cars all over Europe for years. High mileage doesn't scare it. Long motorway runs don't stress it. Stop-start city driving doesn't destroy it. The manual gearbox is bomb-proof. No fancy tricks, no clever software, just solid mechanical components designed to last. The suspension is similarly overbuilt, comfortable, durable, and tolerant of poor roads. Everything about this car is designed for longevity, not excitement. And mechanics absolutely love that. No random warning lights coming on, no electrical gremlins hiding in the wiring, no mysterious faults that take hours to diagnose and never quite go away. The Avensis is predictable, and in a workshop, predictability is gold. One mechanic summed it up perfectly. I can work on other people's cars all day because I know my own car will start every single morning without fail. That peace of mind matters more than leather seats or a premium badge. Look at the data and it backs this up. MOT pass rates for the Avensis are among the highest in Britain. Even at high mileage, failure rates stay low. Insurance is cheap, parts are widely available and affordable. There's no specialist labour required. Any competent mechanic can work on one without headaches. But here's what mechanics really value. Mental freedom. No worrying about surprise repair bills, no being stranded at the side of the road, no losing weekends fixing your own car after spending all week fixing everyone else's. One mechanic in Birmingham told me something that stuck with me. Nobody notices the Avensis, which means nobody keys it, nobody races you, nobody tries to break into it. It's the perfect stealth car for someone who just wants to get on with life. And that sums the Avensis up better than any brochure ever could. It's invisible, it's dependable, it's boring in the best possible way. Mechanics don't buy cars to feel special. They buy cars to remove problems from their lives. The Toyota Avensis does exactly that. And that's why so many people who know cars inside out quietly choose to drive one. Mazda MX5. Right, here's the one that genuinely shocked me. I expected mechanics to drive sensible, boring, ultra-reliable boxes on wheels. Practical stuff, invisible stuff. And then I started noticing a pattern that didn't fit that idea at all. A lot of mechanics own Mazda MX5s, not as their daily workhorse, but as their second car. Their escape. A mechanic in Glasgow explained it perfectly. He's been fixing cars for years, mostly modern European stuff. I work on complicated, over-engineered cars all week, he told me. German cars with 17 control modules, endless sensors, and computers talking to other computers. At the weekend, I want something simple, something I can actually enjoy driving. That sentence says everything. The MX5 is mechanically simple in an era where almost nothing else is. No turbochargers, no dual-clutch gearboxes, no adaptive suspension systems waiting to fail, no drive modes controlled by software updates. Just an engine, a gearbox, 4 wheels, and a chassis that was designed to make sense. It's a car a mechanic can fully understand and fully trust. The 1.8 and 2.0 engines are naturally aspirated. No boost pressure, no intercoolers, no complex plumbing snaking around the engine bay. They rev cleanly, love being driven hard, and don't punish you for enjoying them. You can thrash them without constantly worrying about what's wearing out underneath. Mechanics know exactly what fails on MX5s. And that's the point. They know because there's so little to remember. Mechanically, almost nothing goes wrong. The engines are solid, the gearboxes are tough, the drivetrains are simple. Yes, the soft top eventually needs replacing, but that's a wear item, not a catastrophic failure. You expect it. You budget for it. Everything else just works. One mechanic told me, "I've got mates with BMW Z4s and Audi TTs. They're always fixing something. Sensors, gearboxes, roof motors. My MX5 has needed oil changes and one clutch in 8 years. That's it. And here's where it gets really interesting. Running costs. An MX5 is cheaper to run than most hot hatches. It uses less fuel than a Golf GTI. Insurance is lower than a Focus ST. Servicing is simple. Parts are affordable. And reliability, better than pretty much anything German in the same category. Yet it's more fun to drive than cars costing 3 times as much. Mechanics see sports cars come into workshops every single day with horrifying bills attached. Porsche Caymans with bore scoring, BMW M cars with rod-bearing failures, Audi TTs with gearbox problems that cost more than the car is worth. Those cars generate work. The MX5 doesn't. The MX5 comes in for oil changes, tires, maybe brakes, and that's usually it. No drama, no warning lights, no catastrophic repair bills that ruin the ownership experience. And then there's the real secret, residual values. MX5s hold their money. Buy a clean one, look after it, don't abuse it, and you'll sell it for nearly what you paid. Try doing that with a German sports car once the warranty is gone. Mechanics understand depreciation better than most. They see which cars become financial black holes and which ones stay desirable. The MX5 stays desirable because it doesn't scare second or third owners. One mechanic summed it up perfectly. After spending all week diagnosing complex faults on overpriced European cars, I just want something that works. The MX5 works every single time. Now stop for a second and think about what we've just covered. So far, we've looked at 3 cars that professional mechanics choose with their own money. Honda Civics with nearly 200,000 miles and no major repairs. Toyota Avensis models that quietly pass 200,000 miles on routine servicing alone. And Mazda MX5s that mechanics buy because they're tired of fixing complicated German sports cars. And we're not done yet. The next 2 cars are even more revealing because they completely expose the myth that reliability and prestige go hand in hand. The most dependable cars on the road aren't the ones with the flashiest badges. They're the ones mechanics trust enough to drive themselves. If this is changing how you think about buying a car, hit that like button. Make sure you're subscribed because we're about to go even deeper. Right, 2 more cars to go. Let's keep going. Lexus IS-250. Now we're getting to the really interesting stuff. The Lexus IS-250. Japanese reliability in a premium package. And mechanics absolutely love these cars. I met a Lexus specialist in Birmingham who's been working on premium cars for 30 years. Mercedes, BMW, Audi, Jaguar, he's seen it all. And what does he drive? A 2008 IS-250 with 170,000 miles. I spend my working life dealing with failed German engineering, he told me. Air suspension that collapses, gearboxes that self-destruct, electrical systems that go haywire. The Lexus is the opposite of all that. He showed me round his car. Everything still worked. The leather wasn't cracked, the buttons didn't stick, the air conditioning was ice cold. At 170,000 miles. On the original compressor, the 2.5 V6 engine is bulletproof. Mechanics know this because they never see them in the workshop with engine problems. It's the same basic engine architecture Toyota has been using for decades, just refined and improved. The automatic gearbox is a traditional torque converter. No dual clutch complications, no CVT whining. Just smooth, reliable gear changes that last the lifetime of the car. Here's what mechanics understand. A 10-year-old Lexus IS costs less to own than a 5-year-old BMW 3 Series. The purchase price is lower, the insurance is cheaper, the servicing costs less. And the repairs? What repairs? In 5 years of ownership, I've done oil changes, brake pads once and tires twice, the specialist told me. That's it. Compare that to my customers' BMWs, where I'm replacing turbos and gearboxes. Build quality is exceptional. Nothing squeaks, nothing rattles, nothing falls off. The car was over-engineered when it was new, which means at high mileage it's still solid. Mechanics also appreciate the simplicity of maintenance. No special tools required, no complicated procedures. Just straightforward mechanical work that any competent home mechanic can do. I park next to brand new BMWs and Audis at the supermarket, one mechanic told me. My Lexus is older and has more miles, but I know which car will still be running in 10 years, and it's not the German ones. Lexus consistently tops reliability surveys. Mechanics know this isn't marketing, it's genuine. They see the evidence every day in what doesn't come through their workshop doors. The best car is the one you don't have to fix, a garage owner told me. That's why I drive a Lexus Skoda Octavia. Right, we've reached number 1. And this is the car I saw more than any other in mechanics' driveways, the Skoda Octavia, not the latest fancy one, the older generation that nobody gets excited about, but mechanics get excited about it. Very excited. I spoke to a VW Group specialist in Cardiff who works exclusively on Volkswagens, Audis, Seats and Skodas. He showed me the car park behind his workshop. 4 of his 5 mechanics drive Octavias, all of them older models with high mileage. We work on fancy Audis all day, he told me. Customers paying premium prices for premium badges. But the Octavia underneath is basically the same car. Same platform, same engines, same gearboxes. Just without the premium badge tax. The 1.9 TDI diesel is legendary in the trade. Mechanics call it the unbreakable diesel. It'll do 300,000 miles without major work. No turbo failures, no injector problems, no DPF issues on the earlier models without filters. The 2.0 TDI that replaced it is nearly as good. Strong, reliable, economical. The kind of engine that mechanics trust because they never have to rebuild it. A mechanic showed me his fuel logs. He was averaging over 60 miles per gallon on his daily commute. His annual fuel bill was less than someone driving a petrol hatchback half the size. I do 25,000 miles a year for work, he explained. The fuel savings alone pay for the car. Everything else, insurance, maintenance, repairs, is just pocket change. Mechanics appreciate the Octavia because it's honest. It doesn't pretend to be something it's not. It's a practical, sensible, reliable car that does exactly what it's supposed to do without any fuss. The boot is enormous, perfect for carrying tools. The back seats fold flat, ideal for transporting parts. The ride is comfortable, essential when you're driving all day between jobs. I could afford to buy something flashier, a mechanic told me. But why would I? The Octavia costs me practically nothing to run. It never breaks down. It's practical. It's economical. What more do I need? This is the fundamental truth that mechanics understand. The best car isn't the one with the fanciest badge. It's the one that costs the least to own while still being genuinely useful. Mechanics also understand residual values better than most. An Octavia depreciates gently at the bottom end of the market. Buy one for a few grand, run it for 5 years, sell it for nearly the same money. Try doing that with a premium German saloon. You'll lose thousands. We see new Audis come in with failed gearboxes at 60,000 miles, a mechanic told me. My Octavia has done nearly 200,000 miles on the original gearbox. Same basic component, different badge. The difference is, I bought my car for a fraction of the price. Reliability above all else. When your car is also your business, you can't afford breakdowns. The Octavia doesn't break down. Running costs matter. Fuel, insurance, servicing, parts, everything is affordable on the Octavia. Practicality is essential. The Octavia does everything a working person needs without any compromises. At the end of the day, a garage owner told me, I'm in the business of fixing cars. The Octavia means I never have to fix my own. That's worth more than any premium badge. Right then, let's recap what we've learned today, shall we? We've covered 5 cars that professional mechanics choose to drive themselves. Number 5, Honda Civic, the unstoppable with mechanics reporting 0 major repairs even at 180,000 miles. Number 4, Toyota Avensis, the invisible workhorse that never breaks, never fails, never causes drama. Number 3, Mazda MX5, the weekend therapy car that mechanics choose because they're tired of complicated German engineering. Number 2, Lexus IS-250, the Toyota in a suit, proving that Japanese reliability beats German prestige every single time. Number 1, Skoda Octavia, the sensible choice with VW Group mechanics choosing it over the Audis they work on every day. Notice the pattern? Not a single German premium brand on this list. Not one French car, no British luxury marque, no Italian exotic. Just honest, reliable, well-engineered cars that do what they're supposed to do without costing a fortune in repairs. How many of you have been chasing premium badges when you should have been chasing reliability? Let me know in the comments. And share this video with anyone who's about to waste money on an expensive German car because they think the badge matters. If you found this useful, make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Hit that notification bell because next week I'm revealing which premium cars mechanics actively tell people to avoid and why. And seriously, if you want to know what car to buy, don't ask a salesman, ask a mechanic. Because mechanics vote with their own wallets, and their wallets say Honda, Toyota, Mazda, Lexus and Skoda. Right then, that's it from me today. Thanks for watching, and remember, the best car is the one that doesn't need a mechanic. And ironically, mechanics know this better than anyone. See you next time, cheers!